Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another 3PG at the movies. And this time we're talking about nepotism.
Yes, sir. See, nepotism in Hollywood is a thing that everybody loves to bring up, but don't really see the real damage of. Sure, we have some actors, even during our times in the 90s and in the 80s, that were sons and daughters of greater actors and directors that did well. And you know what? We have to give this generation of actors and directors some time to let them blossom. Because sure, Kurt Russell's son is not going to be on his level, but Wyatt is getting there. Sure, everybody wants Scott. Is like, sure, someone are going to end up like Scott Kahn. You know what I mean?
Scott Conn's a thing. All right, cool.
Sure, they're going to be like Clint Eastwood's son, overrated, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Let these guys find their own path. And then you have people that are like, wow, you just like your fucking daddy. And the case that we got right now is that M.Night's daughter really writes like her damn daddy.
Ishana Night Shyamalan is the director of The Watchers, and M. Night produced it. And I sat back, and she wrote this film, but obviously I kind of feel her dad definitely was giving her guidance because, like,
I want to really not blame his daughter, but you know.
So the basic purpose of this movie is this.
It's not in Philadelphia. Not like my dad. Not like my dad. He would have dropped. Yeah, M. Night would have dropped this off right in Philadelphia. You know.
Dakota Fanning plays Mina, who runs a pet shop in Ireland, and basically throughout the movie, there is a subplot involving her kind of flashing back because obviously M. Night movies do this where the character has like a struggle they're going with, and in this instance, it's her death of her mom, which we find out had something to do with a car accident that may or may not have been her fault in a way, but you know, obviously that's what this movie is going for. Mm-hmm. And she gets tasked with having to take a pet to a place on the other side of Ireland, and the place that she takes it to, she ends up breaking down the woods. And
taking the damn bird with her, which is
she had to deliver the bird. Yeah, took the bird and everything, and she's in the woods, and she eventually ends up running across 3 other people where they're inside of a sort of room that's facing outside, and apparently the watchers of the movie watch them inside the thing. And there's also the thing of the fake reality show inside the movie that they're watching and stuff, and it plays a hand in the watchers. And it's an M. Night movie. It's very weird
to the nth degree. It's one of those M. Night movies where it painstaking. Here's the thing. It's one of those things where me and my dad was talking about this, and I was telling my dad, I hate it when directors do something on screen and you know it's like either a reference to something or is like a back meaning to something or backdoor meaning to something, and you might as well have the director walk beside you. Hi, how you doing? How you doing? Miss Shyamalan. Do you know what that means? Do you understand what that means? Do you get it? Do you get it? This movie was all right. Look, Chris, I've been saying this lately on some of my reviews. I hate obnoxious characters. I really hate
this movie has obnoxious characters.
Dakota Fanning, first off, it's like, no, I have a past and I don't want to talk about it. I was obviously either A, I was toxic, or B, I was the cause of it, and I want to face my fear. She was that.
She has that look, and it's Dakota Fanning, so you know the level of acting you're getting. I never had a problem with her acting. I think she's a good actress, but like it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, it's Dakota. She's coasting in this movie.
I always feel like, I'm about to say, I always feel that Dakota has been coasting ever since she became a teenager. like when she was a kid, she actually had to act.
after War of the Worlds, it's like, yeah, it's time for me to coast.
Let's draw it in real quick. I don't think I'm going to do that much.
Granted, I did like her in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as one of the Manson women.
Oh, she played God, I know who you talk about. One of the women that joined Manson. I know.
Yeah. Squeaky Form.
Squeaky. Squeaky.
Yeah, I think it was Squeaky. That's one of Manson's women, but yeah, like her in this movie, it's like, oh, okay, cool. and then we get the other group of people, and they do M.Night shit.
You get the
We
black,
got weird old white lady. We get a
the old
mulatto
white,
woman.
we get the old white lady in the woods. Like, how long have you been out here? No, no, listen to me. These are the rules. And you must follow the rules all the time.
To the
Now,
T.
I know I'm not. Hold on. This is if this is offensive to somebody, I'm so sorry. Hoity toity toity toy. You must make sure that you. I got that from Always Sunny. Leave me alone. I didn't make that joke up. The white people did.
I don't make the rules. Nah.
But yeah, but she was like, of course she knows everything because she's been out there longer than everybody else. So she's trying to teach everybody else the whole structure of how the Watchers work.
God,
You have the one white boy who's just out there was just out there on a weekend. He
got
was out there
lost.
with he was out there on the weekend with his dad. They got lost. His dad didn't survive, but he did. So he's like, he's a child trying to find himself. And then you have the black girl who's there. She's like, "Don't worry, it's gonna be all right. My husband left out, and he's gonna come back one day. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right because the Watchers may have gotten him, but it's okay. We're here together, and he'd like to see me dance. Yes, they love to see the black girl dance in front of the Watchers." And she's all doing all the little one, all that in the woods dance and shit. And I gotta be real, Chris. This is me the entire time.
Now here's the thing. Now
I
the
know
wood,
writers who use subtext, and they all cowards. I'm tired of it.
the movie. Now the woods itself. Now the woods is sort of puzzle of sorts because you can get lost and you need to use sort of markers to kind of like,
Mhm.
all right, this is where we're at and all that stuff because there was a moment at the beginning of the movie where we see a character that's like,
Black girl's husband.
yeah, it is, and he's like looking lost, and he's like, oh shit, it's almost nighttime, and then we get through these woods, and then he sees the marker, was like, but I came past this 3 times. Oh god, oh no.
The woods are against me, and he starts
Try to
crawling up.
climb the tree because hey, maybe this will save him. And in typical fashion in these movies, the guy falls from the tree, and I'm like, well, you're dead.
Oh, you're dead. Man, like, if the fall didn't kill you,
Oh,
like if the fall didn't kill you, the boogie woogie man is definitely going to finish it off.
gotta say, the way these creatures look was underwhelming.
You know what, Chris? I just
Whelming, but underwhelming at the same time. Like,
I just did I just did the exorcism, and I just did God, what's the other? The inheritance. Both of them have what I call underwhelming climax of what the monster is. The exorcism, not so much the monster, but it's like, come on, man. At least in the original Exorcist, I got the at least I got that.
got
This one is like,
something here.
come on, man. This is just Russell Crowe on a bender. Come on, y'all can do better than this. It didn't get scary until it didn't get scary until David High Priest got High Priest got a High Priest. High
High
Pierce got a
Pierce,
High Priest. I always call him
High
High Priest.
Priest.
But anyway, David High Pierce got exercise, not exercise, infected with the devil. They're infected with the devil. Jesus, whatever. The devil hopped inside of him, and he was all like, ah. It was like, that's just him. So, but these two, but what I was noticing is like, yo, has any effort with all the CGI, with all the makeup we have, these monsters look so underwhelming. And spoiler, because this movie been out for 2 months, so I can go ahead and say it. Um, they're fairies. You see,
Mythological
Christopher. You
theories.
see, Christopher. The whole point was to find out who the fairies are when they were out there, and these are the remnants of the last fairies. Now, I always laugh that fairies are either like majestic elf-like creatures or they're spawns of Satan, and they chose spawns of Satan in this one.
Which is kind of crazy too, because if you think about it, like fairies in mythological, they do vary. It's like, yeah, like you said,
Yeah,
they're
they do.
either evil or they're good, and it's like,
Yeah, they work on
okay,
the elves rule. You either what do you call light elves or dark elves? It
yeah,
works on that ruling. You know what I mean? They don't go any deep into that. And I always laugh. I always laugh when they try to make them seem like not so much just like weird. I'm gonna say they make them monsters instead of making them like the sentient beings that they really are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They make them more, all snarling and all that, and crawling all weird and stuff like that. The
Mhm.
part that gets me is this now. As we just said, there's a little thing. There's a basically a this structure in the middle of the woods. It's made of bricks. I don't know what type of bricks, but bricks hard enough for these monsters not to break through somehow. And
Mhm.
I will say bulletproof glass. And the one thing, and I will say like now, I already said fairies. I'm not going to drop the twist, and I'm not going to drop the ending. But the one question that keeps coming up for me was who made this shit? Chris, when they went into the explanation of who made this, I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. So
Because
if these things come out every night, how was any of this built? How did this happen?
well, like the movie does this sort of haphazard explanation of how the facility was built, and it's like, again, M Night does this where he'll sit there and show something that's very interesting, and then it just kind of when you finally get the whole full piece, including the twist, it's like womp womp.
Okay, so
Because
let me
because
tell
because this movie does this thing where okay, there's a point in the movie where you think it's going to end,
oh my god, the
and I
fake
was sitting,
ending.
and I remember sitting back like, this is kind of very underwhelming for an M Night film. And then as the movie continuing, I'm looking at my watch like, there's 20 minutes left. Oh God, what's the? It's
Dude,
that movie where it's
dude,
like, what's the twist? What's
dude,
the
dude.
twist? Oh God, what's the twist?
This is D's reaction. Like, wow. They made it, and I dropped my hand, right? And when I dropped my hand, my mouse moved, and I saw like how much time was left. 27 minutes? We were at the finish line.
Cause I sat back and I was like, you know what? For a first time
What
director, not
more?
bad.
Yeah,
Ending
exactly.
is like, all right, this is
Exactly. I was like,
okay. Feels all right, fine.
you know what, Mini M Night. I can say what I want to, but for your first real directorial debut, this wasn't bad. What the fuck you mean? There's 20
It's
more
20
minutes.
minutes.
And then it got worse because I didn't look up. Now all I knew was that she directed a movie. That's all I knew at the time. And when I came back to you after calling you, here's Chris. Oh, D, she wrote it too. I'm like, I fucking knew it.
Like, God damn it.
I thought her dad had something to do with this. Like he was hanging over her shoulder the whole time. You know what I would do?
What you need to do is
It
we're
ain't
gonna
what you
end
need
this.
to do. I know what I would do. Here's the thing. My conspiracy theory is this. All right, let's make it very clear. I think everybody has the same opinion on an M Night at this time. You
Mhm.
had one hit, you had one banger, and the other ones were either I or what was this? Hollywood overhyped you, actors overhyped you, all of that happened, and finally you're at the point where you're mid. You are mid. You have interesting concepts that fall apart by the end of the by the end of the movie. I
Mhm.
call look like I used to make fun of Wiz Khalifa, especially his first album, where he will write a song, but by the time he gets to the third verse, it'd be like, you just slapped that together, did you? That's how I feel about M Night movies because it was like the first act, oh, that was a decent opening. Second act, well, all right, this is not an A plus, but it's solid. How are we going to what?
And that's the thing that kills me because it's like there are certain movies, and I know we're going on the M Night thing, but it bleeds into his daughter a little bit, where it's like, okay, like some of your movies, like I said, Devil is a good example of this, where it's like, okay, interesting concept, and then the twist hits, and you're like,
This is
huh.
stupid. This is stupid. Old.
No,
Actually,
old was
old
peak. Old was
old.
peak unhinged M Night.
And here's the funny thing. I need more of that from you, M Night. Like, yeah, it ain't great, but it's actually pretty
Just
entertaining.
go
I need
unhinged at
more of
this
that.
point. Just go
Just
unhinged.
go for it. Just go for it. You trying to be all slick and try to throw in a stop it. No,
No,
stop it.
we didn't ask for this.
Yeah, man. Like when you can tell when M Night's trying too hard. His daughter got the same thing.
Man, like I
It's
said,
the
I
same.
want to hope that I will put it this way. I want to see what she can do by herself without M Night being there, just to see maybe it was just
Yeah,
this movie he had a guide because this is her first movie, so maybe there is a measure of a guiding hand from him
yeah.
on that. But I want to see
And
what she does by herself, like
you're
just
right.
solo.
And you're right. And like, here's the thing. I know for a fact, me and Chris aren't against her getting help from her dad. Let's be
Oh
real.
no, no, no,
We're
no, no.
we're not against that. What we're because I believe, especially as your first time directing, and you are a daughter of somebody who's known, you're supposed to do that crap. You're supposed to have somebody there, you know. And this is her first directorial debut as a on
For a movie because I know
for a movie. Yeah,
she did a show for Apple TV, which
servant.
she executive
Servant.
produced.
She
Yeah,
servant.
Servant. Yeah,
She's written 10 episodes and directed 6 of those episodes. I'm not going to hate you on that. I'm really not. And but with this one, it's like you do, whoo, whoo. Your name got you in the door because this needs to be VOD. Like, no way. This was supposed to go in the theaters, bro. And all right, let's go on to the acting itself. The acting itself, Chris, I will say this. M Night movies. Yeah, this is an M Night movie. I'm sorry, sweetie. This is your daddy's handiwork.
it's the M Night family.
It ain't your fault that that tree fruit. It ain't
Yeah,
far,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
It
It
ain't
just is
far.
what it is.
It ain't far. You know what I mean? But this is a little. It's like they always have good actors and tell them to either overact or dial it down. I noticed that every time, and in this movie, you can tell like it's the same thing, man. Dakota Fanning, who we already said, is not that very like we ain't saying she's a bad actress. She's competent, more than competent. You know what I mean? But this movie, it's like you didn't want nobody to like you, did you?
Yeah,
Like
you
you wanted
just this is where
so
we're
much
at, huh?
for this movie. They're trying to follow the rules. She's over here. I'm bored. I'm going to defy everybody and go outside after 7 o'clock when the sun goes down just to see if it happens. Just white woman moves. You know what I mean? And the part that get me was she gets out there and the old lady helps her like this. What are you doing out here? Be still. Be still. I'm like be still. Why? And you see the watchers come out. When you see them come out, like you said, Chris, underwhelming. You know, and it's like okay. So do they see based on movement? Like I don't because one of the watchers comes right above their head and crawls over them. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, it's
Come
kind of like it's really like all right.
Like I can understand in Jurassic Park where the dinosaur clearly doesn't see you because it still don't know what a human is. I
Yeah,
can understand that.
like the
But
creatures
the
come out at night.
watchers, like, come on, they
It's
already know
basically
this. And especially if they're fairies, they already know how humans act. And like, come on,
yeah,
bro.
they kind of it's like okay, that makes sense. They got to be in the building before nighttime, makes sense. But
Yeah,
then at one point they're hiding in the woods, and I'm like, so they don't smell them, they don't no
exactly.
sound. And then when you see, and
Exactly.
don't get it twisted, like the monsters when before they did the full reveal, I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of like, what do these things look like? Because this is kind of like there. And then when you see them, you're like, huh, okay. Yeah.
I liked
It's
how
like
there
I
was
Am Legend when you see those creatures, you're like, that's it.
oh,
Hmm.
they're zombies.
Nah, weird zombies. Gotcha.
Yeah, they're just aggressive zombies. That's all they are. Like in this, like in this one, it's like, oh, I see. They're dingamajig monsters. Dingamajig.
Think I'm a
Like, yo,
jigger.
and the thing that killed me is that when they first show up, it's like everybody stand still. They have to see that we're here, and they just stand there all in a row holding hands. It's like you see nothing out. Then I can dig the mystery of that, where you're looking out into the forest and you see nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can dig that mystery where it's like, okay, so we can't see them, but they can see us. Fine. It's a mirrored glass. You know what I mean? I get it. So now what you do? Oh, they just do regular human activities and they halfway perform for the monsters. And I do like how they was watching that how Dakota was sitting down watching that old reality show.
Dude, that whole thing was hilarious watching because I was like, this is like Big Brother, basically. And I'm like,
Yeah,
all right, cool.
Scottish, like I'm not Scottish, Irish
Irish
Big
Big
Brother.
Brother.
And it's like, okay, cool, and
Nothing.
nothing. Another thing, and people are going to notice this real early watching the movie. When you watch the beginning of the movie, it's just something I noticed, Chris. They show no one's face except Dakota Fanning in the beginning of the movie. You see everybody's back of their heads, and you
Mm-hmm.
see nobody's face. It's throwing in mystery
The guy in the
again.
club
Again, I know writers who use subtext all the time.
stinks.
He's like, come on, see, you can't see the monster. That's it. Like, just tell me what you're trying to do, bro.
I mean,
Just tell me what
even to
you're
the
trying to
point,
do, bro.
even to the point of like, and again, like Dakota's character Mina, like she, was master of disguise because she wears a fake wig when she goes out on dates, and it's just, what does this have to do with her trauma? Like, I see what you're doing, but are we just seeing her everyday life, which I'm fine with, cool, but like, where is this going with this? Like,
They really don't. They really don't dive into that. They like, and they know again, fine, fine, like it's fine, but okay, yes, the monsters play tricks. In one case, and I will give the movie this. It's
I like the idea of them though. Like,
I will
dude,
give the movie this. There was one time they just sit there, and God, what's the black girl name in this movie? Uh,
ah, shit.
not Madeline, not Madeline. Sarah, Sarah, Sarah. Wait, that's John. John, I'm out here, honey. I need your help. Because somehow, some way. Oh yeah, Dakota Fanning actually goes into the lair of the Watchers.
They're-
Which, by the way, you mean to tell me during the daytime the Watchers ain't in there just sleeping?
they are
No.
in there, but they're just in the dark.
Why? Okay, they're nocturnal, but why are they nocturnal? Like, you have all these rules, but whatever. She goes in their lair. She finds a bike and she finds like a video, a camcorder, and they use the camcorder to see where the monsters are at. So apparently the fairies are smart enough to know that they have a camcorder out there, so they trick them. But all you see is hairy ass feet, and you're like Sarah, I'm outside. Like, that's him. Let's open the door. It's like, no, we must not open it. That's her husband. We have to open it up. Back and forth. Annoying characters being annoying characters, right? And finally, she's like, all right, John, if that's you, pick up the camera. He picks up the camera, and you just see this naked man shivering. Help me, help me. It's like, oh, we gotta help him. That's my husband. And you're like, no, no, no,
That's a
no.
fake.
And finally, you hear like, they're coming for me, coming for it. They obviously tricked them because it's like, it's like, okay, I got a question. How did they know that was a camera? And how did they know how a camera works? I am so sick of your shit.
Dumb. It's like, yo, like, and that, I think that's what was kind of killing me because, like I said, I was with the movie, and I think it was for me, it was the twist.
It was the twist.
The
It's
twist. It
really
was
the
it
twist.
was the twist because, like I said, the false flag ending where I was like, huh, okay, whatever. And like you said, 25 minutes left, really? Like, and then when a twist hits, it's like,
Oh,
well, of
God.
course it is. Of
No,
course it
yeah,
is.
yeah. Mm. When it got to yes, and that's the one part. I won't say what the twist is, but when it got there, I was like, wait a minute, blah 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 blah. A minute later, oh, anybody could have seen that coming. Oh, come on. And then, Chris, the ending where you saw that and you see Dakota Fanning looking out the window, and then you see whatever outside of the window. It's like they're still watching. Ooh. Like,
All right, movie, you're up your own
you
ass.
had a chance. You had a chance. This movie was going to be, for me, I can tell you right now, this movie was actually headed towards a 5 for me. It really was. And it dropped to a 4. I
Yeah.
was so mad at that because I would like see a five for us just to reclaim a 5 or 6 is like, it's middle of the road. May want to watch it. In some cases, middle of the road is a middle of the road movie might be a gem. Like, it's middle of the road. Check it out though. You might really, really like it. This was on that case of being middle of the road when I looked down and there was still 20 minutes, and then when the twist came in, shut up, four
I mean,
stars.
it reminds me of like Knock at the Cabin, right? Where M. Night did that movie, and I was expecting a twist in that movie, and there was no twist. It was very straightforward. Now,
Mhm.
obviously, he was adapting a book, so you can't really go
Yeah,
off
you really can't.
reservation.
Yeah, yeah,
But I remember watching it. I looked at Eris like, did M. Night actually do a movie that didn't have some bullshit twist? Eris was like, yeah. So I was expecting this movie to be the same thing because of his daughter. And then just as soon as that twist hit, I was like, ah, you were here.
Oh, there's no way.
Oh,
You had it. You had it, boo. All you had. You could have. You know what you could have did? The last 20 minutes, knock that out, and still give the twist at the very, very end. Nothing would have changed it.
it wouldn't have.
It
And
would have been actually. It would have actually crossed the finish line. But no, you extended the time, which made us question everything beforehand, and everything you did afterhand was after it was like, this is dumb. You're just
yeah.
adding more to the stupid.
Yep. And at the end of the day, you just ultimately are just sitting there wondering to yourself, like, what happened?
So, the,
Like,
so,
yeah, detonated, but I'm with you. It's like, yeah, this is about 4 out of 10. It's like, yeah. Yeah.
so I got one good question, and we can wrap it up on this, Chris. Um, we know we're going to probably see a couple more stuff from his daughter. Do you think that she will just a hypothetical? Do you think that she will be just like her dad? I mean, probably do things better than her dad, but do you just see the same M Night stamp coming from her, man?
That's why I'm curious to see what she does when her dad isn't there hovering.
I think
Like,
he's always going to be there in some type of way. I think he's going to be an executive no matter. Well, I'm going to say no matter what. But I get you. I get you on
I
that.
ain't gonna lie, because I am kind of me and you talked about his next movie, Trap, which I'm like, okay, I'm kind of interested in that. What if Charles Manson was trapped at a Taylor Swift concert? It's like, all right, sure,
See, here's the
gotcha.
thing. Here's the thing. Charles Manson didn't actually take a knife and stab nobody. Nah, they did that for him. So that's different. This case, what happens when we actually get a legit serial killer inside of a Taylor Swift concert?
And the police actually, for the first time ever, actually did it on purpose to trap him. I'm like, oh,
Wait a
the
minute.
police are
That's the
competent.
wait a minute.
So
Wait
the
a minute.
basic
That's
gist
the
of
wait a minute. That's no, I missed that point. You mean to tell me that the cops actually trapped him in there on purpose?
yes, so basically the gist of it was, I think because of the type of serial killer he is, and he goes after young women, they literally set the trap for him at a pop star concert.
Wait a minute. Wait
And
a
I was
minute.
like,
Yes
that's
and no.
ingenious, actually.
Uh-uh. I would say no. That is like purposely. That is like purposely trying to get Jaws. No, not Jaws. No. That is like trapping Freddy inside of a dream. We're gonna get him this time. You do realize my playground. Whatever.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that
but it's
Josh.
Josh Hartnett with the crazy eyes.
I was there. I'm hoping that Josh Hartnett, post 40 years old, can do something for me in this movie.
Well, I mean, but apparently they said it was based off of you. I think me and you might vaguely remember Operation Flagship, where they
Barely.
where they trapped fugitives at a convention center, thinking that they were going to get like free NFL tickets or some shit.
Yeah, yeah.
That's basically the gist of where M Night got his inspiration from. Which I was like, okay,
But it also
this could be interesting. Could be.
now I was because what I was really hoping that this is probably going to be what be. I can't believe I'm hoping it is. M Night, I hope you do this. I hope this is a reverse Die Hard. I hope this is a reverse Die Hard
wins.
where it's like, yeah, you trapped it in there. Like, we trapped you, Hans. It looks like you gave me lunch. Oh.
Oh,
It starts killing everybody. Like, to me.
somebody else ends up getting fucking shot as the serial killer, and he just walks out like, ah.
Now, here's the thing about M. Night, and I know this for a fact. M. Night doesn't do action well. So,
Yeah, he does suspense
So-
very well. So you're not gonna
Oh,
you ain't gonna get Josh Hartnett shooting a gun.
suspense, shitty horror, wheelhouse for him. outside of that.
Hey! I watched Glass. That action finale was very,
Yeah.
underwhelming.
Let me
Very
tell you something.
underwhelming.
You know what? Why we like it? Like I said, why we
Man,
wrapping this
Bruce
up?
Willis got
I
fucking
like.
drowned.
I don't like. I didn't like Glass, but I liked it.
Oh, I liked
didn't-
how ridiculous it was.
I didn't like Split, but I liked it. I didn't like Old, but I liked it. I didn't like Devil. I don't like Devil. I thought Devil disappointed me. 'Cause I was
Devil was
had
stupid.
it. You had it. You had it. You had it. You had it. I was so mad at Devil, man, because I was really actually digging that movie, even with the dumb Spanish person. Mama says anytime that the jelly falls down, like shut up. I was like, yo, I was so mad at Devil for that, man. What was the other movie I didn't like with the cute kids and the grandparents? The Visit. I hated The Visit. I still hate The Visit.
I like
I
The
don't.
Visit. I like
The Visits failed. The Visit failed for me.
I love The Visit. That
It
was
was
the one that everybody was like, M.Night was back.
It was the kids who ruined that for me. The white boy trying to rap and the white boy trying to rap and the girl speaking like no other child that has ever lived on this earth. That upset me so much. But yeah, like I'm hoping that baby M.Night can actually break away from her father and be her own director. I really can, because this trope really doesn't work good for anybody. It doesn't. And she can't afford to have her dad, and I really mean this, she can't afford to have her dad's aura placed on her career like that. I really don't want it. I want her to do her own stuff, man. I really do. I want her to, because it's hard to get into Hollywood anyway, and sometimes, yes, you need nepotism to get up, gain any type of foot into Hollywood, man. So I hope she breaks away from that shit. I really truly do. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
So there you go. That's it for the watchers.
Yeah. So
If you dare to watch it,
I see what you did there. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you love what we do, please follow us on YouTube. Please follow us on Spotify or anywhere else you get your podcasting from. And we'll talk to y'all later. See y'all later. Peace.